Hey guys, it's RodimusPrimal. I am back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about a few Transformers leaks that I think a lot of fans are excited about, and some of it has actually started to show up in toy store shelves right here in the US. When it comes down to the Creatures Collide, we also see images for some of the toy deco for Beast Wars characters. We also have some images to show of a G1 crossover toy with Tonka, of all things. And we also have our next look at a Shattered Glass figure that I think a lot of fans are going to be excited about. So without further ado, let's sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchase some merch on my spring store today. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk to you guys today about is this Creatures Collide set. Now, I've kind of stepped back and didn't really talk about it much because I kind of wanted to see if they were going to do any official reveals for it. But this set, I'm digging it, except for one figure. And I'll get into which figure it is. And you probably already know if you've been watching the channel for a while. But having the Volkswagen Beetle Bumblebee from the Netflix series, but with a Goldbug head, we are getting Goldbug. We're getting Legacy Kickback is going to be redecoed as Ransack, Waspinator as Skywasp, and we have a toy deco version of Scorponok. So yeah, these are all repaints. I know for a lot of people, they don't purchase repaints at all. For me, it depends on the character. If I really want the character or not, I think that's when you're going to sit there and go, well, I really like that character, even though he's a repaint of another character. Like, I love Skywarp. I love Thundercracker. There's no reason for me to not get those characters, even though it's just a redeco of Starscream. I want all three. Or in my case, I want all six when you want the cone heads as well, even though it's a retool with a different head and different wings. But yeah, that's the thing. Do you want the character or not? And the great thing about these particular versions with this set is that the three of them actually come with different heads. Goldbug himself is just going to be a straight redeco of Bumblebee, but like I said, with a different head. Instead of using the Bumblebee head, they're going to use the Goldbug head from the Shattered Glass universe. But Ransack, they've actually went ahead and given him both the kickback head, and you can swap out his head for a more G1 Ransack insect head, because the Deluxe Insecticons, Ransack was one of them, Chop Chop, Venom, and Barrage. So I would love to see all four of those Insecticons get released. Skywasp, I believe, if memory serves me correctly, he is it's like an alternate universe version of Skywarp. Actually, no. To my understanding, he is from he is a Waruder. I think was the storyline that they had given him, was a BotCon exclusive figure, redeco of a Waspinator toy. I like this toy though. I'm really digging the Skywasp. I think it's kind of cool to have another creature specifically with a different name. It's a new character. I'm cool with that. Scorponok is the one figure that I'm just like, I don't really want that one. And I do like the color scheme on him. I like the blue that they're using. It's kind of a bluish purple instead of the straight purple that they used on the original Scorponok figure for Kingdom. But I just don't like the mold. I really don't. And I've heard from people that who have gotten the upgrade kits for Kingdom Scorponok, that if you get the upgrades, it actually makes him a better figure. So maybe it might be something where I may be swapping out some parts and getting upgrade kits in order to try and make a better Scorponok figure for him, because it's just the one Kingdom beast that I just really cannot stand the mold for. But all three of them come with swappable heads, all three insects. So you'll be able to swap out Ransack for his G1 head and a kickback head. You'll be able to swap out the head for Skywasp with a robot style head. And also with Scorponok, you'll be able to swap out his cartoon style head for his toy accurate head. Just the same way that they did with Sandstorm with this Scorponok mold. So you'll actually have swappable heads with this set. And I think that's kind of neat. I really do. And that's just kind of where I want the set as a whole. And it's retailing for $73.99 on Target, but it showed up apparently in some California stores but it's probably not supposed to be street dated until like August 1st. So that I think you're going to see it throughout the month of August. People are going to start finding it and wanting it. I'm like, yeah, I do want this set because I like the idea of Goldbug. And speaking of Goldbug, probably should do a retrospective on him as like an upgrade of Bumblebee along with the Throttlebots. That would be kind of neat to do a video on them in the future. But of course, I want to know what you guys think. And speaking of Target exclusive redecos, I know everybody's been making fun of him, but Dinobot does have a toy accurate redeco, and he showed up in this one in particular in Ohio. So some fans are actually finding the buzzworthy Bumblebee version of Dinobot. Don't really want him. It's another repaint that I'm not really excited about, but I know some people are like, yeah, I love the original Dinobot deco. I'm definitely getting this. Great. That's more, I'm glad for the fans who want it, but it's just not my thing. I'd argue the same thing about this guy right here, is Pterosaur. Now, Pterosaur, I have the first mold of it, the first release of it, which was the Amazon exclusive version. This one's the Target exclusive one. And I know this is where a lot of people are getting upset and angry. They're like, oh, if I really want the figure, I can't get it on a regular release. I have to get it through a store exclusive. I believe that Target does ship internationally, so if you can get it through them, I'm not sure. But, I also think Hasbro Pulse does ship elsewhere, so I think if you're able to get him that way. Either way, I do wish that more fans were able to get their hands on some of these figures and some of these characters. Pterosaur in particular, I saw that what the deco looked like, and we've talked about it before, but now knowing that he is starting to show up in some store shelves as well, it's kind of one of those where if you really want Pterosaur, period, go for this one. If you missed out on the Amazon exclusive one. But other than that, again, it's another repaint that I don't necessarily need. And speaking of Target exclusives, what we have here is the Tonka collaborative mashup. And he transforms into the Tonkanator, which we can see the box art here. They've redecoed the 6 Constructicons that form Devastator into a Tonka crossover transformer of Mega Dozer, Power Digger, Motor Load, Motor Mix, Mega Hauler, and Skyhook. And they're Autobots, and they transform into the Tonkanator. And I can't not talk, like when I hear the word Tonkanator, it's the first thing that comes to mind. They could have come up with a little bit more of a creative name, but that's the first thing that I can think of. And it's kind of cool. It's sold out on Hasbro Pulse, but through Target's website, it's $105 if you want all of these Tonka labels all over the original G1 Constructicons. Not necessarily something that I want, and I think that's probably why it's more of an exclusive, figure, because they know that some fans, they just don't want it. So they're going to skip it. It's fine. But go for it if that's your thing. And they've also, at the same time, through Target's website reissued, you can order the Street Fighter crossover, where they took the Titans Return figures and the Generations figures from yesteryear and actually redecoed them as 4 Street Fighter characters. And I've talked about them on the channel, with Ryu and Ken being Optimus and Hot Rod. And then you have Bison being Octane and RC being Chun-Li. So you have those in particular. And I've seen, like I said, I've talked about them on the channel before, but I believe they might be sold out. But they don't really interest me as well. It's a bunch of repaints. But we do have a couple of different figures here that I do think fans are going to be excited about. First look, of course, is a brand new Core Class Wheelie. This is all we have of him right now. It is a low-res image of him in packaging. So they're not doing, it's not a rehash of that terrible Wheelie that came with Grimlock. This is a brand new mold. And the Titans Return one is an okay figure, like it's but I think this one looks a little bit better. And I do want to address this because somebody had asked me this in one of the comments in one of my videos or one of the things that I had posted, and they were asking about, like, what do you think about all of these reissues, and what do you think about keep on releasing the new molds of new figures? Here's my thing. If you really like the mold of a figure and you think that fits your definitive version of a character, then stick with that one. For me, I do want to get that one definitive version of a character. Like, I think that, to me, this right here, Kingdom Rodimus Prime, works for me as the best version, retail version of Rodimus Prime, and I don't have an intention of picking up another Rodimus Prime figure after this. But for some people, they missed out on the Titans Return figure. So for them to be able to get Wheelie, great. For them to be able to get Rodimus Prime, if they missed out on previous releases of a Rodimus Prime figure or a Hot Rod figure, then go for it. And that's, I don't have a problem with them releasing new versions of the same character over again. And some names like Optimus and Megatron and Starscream and RC, they have to keep making new figures of those characters. They have to. Because how does Transformers stay alive? And not only that, but they also have to keep the name trademark. But if you don't want the character, then you don't have to buy them. It's as simple as that. For me, I do want a better Wheelie figure. And I'm hoping that this Wheelie figure is good. Then maybe I might replace the Takara Legends figure that I currently have. We'll see. We'll see when we actually get some more official. Now, the big news that has been trending over Twitter like crazy this morning is a redeco of RC. This one in particular, yes, it's a repaint, but it's a repaint that everybody felt was the one to get. Some people are really digging Road Rocket, and I'm digging her as well. But this one in particular, Flamewar, is one that is on my want list. It's definitely a character that I want to get. The character was created by Ben Yee. If you're not familiar with who Ben Yee is, he was the story consultant for Beast Wars. He is the guy that the writers for Beast Wars went ahead and asked about Transformers stuff and acted as a consultant to help make Beast Wars connect to G1 in that way, because they respected the source material. Right? So, and Ben Yee himself is a longtime fan. He actually helped create this character for BotCon. So if you actually go ahead and take a look at who Flamewar was, she was a Decepticon who at her very core, believes in the Decepticon cause. So she was a redeco of Energon RC. And that was where she ended up getting her own figure. But recently she's been showing up in the IDW's rebooted continuity. And her original figure itself, again, was a redeco of Energon RC as a BotCon exclusive. So now we're finally getting a new toy of her. And she looks great. Getting an actual look at the figure itself, yeah, she looks awesome. And she comes with the Pterodaxon mold. I have Jackpot, so I have Sights, and I have the Prime RC, and I was able to put the pterodactyl into a bow and arrow mode, so you can actually do exactly that to give her bow and arrow as she needs. So if you decide to get Flamewar, you can make the axe into a bow and arrow, and I think that's really awesome. On top of that, she has a really cool looking motorcycle mode. I love the flames that they've done, and of course the red pterodactyl with the weapons in it. But here's the thing, a lot of people have been talking about this, is that Fireglide is the name of the pterodactyl. Flamewar is part of the Shattered Glass collection. So they haven't officially announced it yet, but yeah, you're going to be able to order this through Hasbro Pulse. So unfortunately for people who really want her, it's going to be hard to get her because she's probably going to sell out really quickly because of the demand for the character. So I think that, it kind of stinks that it's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. And she's got a great deco for her. But it's weird that she's part of Shattered Glass. I don't know, does she appear in the comic, or maybe she does appear in the comic? I know she appears in the regular IDW continuity, but maybe they're making her an heroic Decepticon. Maybe you can put a regular purple Decepticon label on her. Like, that's what I would rather do with this one. Because I love the deco on her. It's definitely a figure I want to get. So, at the same time, I'm just like, it just kind of stinks for so many people, because of all of these figures that I talked about today, they're all store exclusives. And it's something that so many of you have been complaining about, because you get some of these in-demand characters and they end up being part of a store exclusive set, or they end up being part of a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, so they're only limited to certain countries that it ships to. So especially your guys who are in Australia, some of you guys are in other countries, it's like you guys can't get your hands on it. And then it sells out so quickly, especially on Hasbro Pulse. And some of these are not even available for pre-order yet. These are just like, some of these are stock images. Some of these are just showing up in store shelves with no advertisement at all whatsoever. Just people are finding it, taking a picture of it, and then posting it online. And now it's like, hey, look what showed up at my local Target today. Hey, look what showed up at my local Walmart today. And it's like, geez, like we didn't even get any like announcements about this. So it kind of stinks for so many Transformers fans who want to get some of these in-demand characters. And I feel you. I truly do. And I hope that that my words resonate somewhere to Hasbro, because I'm excited about this character. I want this figure. And if she ends up selling out when she ends up going on sale, I would be very disappointed if I miss out on her. So I want to know what you guys think about all this Transformers news. Are you excited about the repaints, or are you just thinking like, just another repaint, I'm not going to buy it? Are you upset about the fact that some of these are store exclusives? Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I have many more Transformers discussions, retrospectives, news, and more coming down the pipeline. So stay tuned for all of that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.